and shoulders, upper back. Grab something to sit on. I'm going to grab a blanket, towel's good too, or a cushion is great. It's really going to be a nice idea for some of our shoulder stretches if you grab a strap. And this can be a belt or a scarf or the wrap off your dressing gown, any of those kind of things. And some blocks or books, something that with a bit of density to them that we can prop ourselves up on. So I'll just give you just a little minute to go and grab any of those things that you might need. Hey, Matt. Awesome. So grab what you need, and then when you're ready, you're going to come and sit easy cross legs. So heels are sort of one in front of the other, knees nice and wide. You're just going to take the hands onto the knees, sit up nice and tall, and perhaps close down your eyes. I'm going to take a few deep breaths in, eyes closed down, just to see how the body feels. Paying special attention to the neck and shoulders, upper back. Where we want to invite in a little peace into the body. A little bit of peace, a little bit of space. I'm going to clear the mind and relax the body. And we want to anchor down through the tailbone, so the belly needs to be slightly drawn in, just a little bit active to help support the spine. I'm going to sit up nice and straight, reach the crown of the head towards the sky. And then physically pick up your shoulders and roll them down and back so you're opening up your chest. And let's do that another couple of times just because it feels good. Roll the shoulders up and back. Mine makes a nice crunchy sound when I do that, so don't be concerned if yours does that too. Just a little roll of the shoulders. Lovely. And then take an inhale, gently open up your eyes. You're going to take your right hand across. You're going to take a little look back over your left shoulder. Now, I've realized watching some of these videos back that the whole frame gets flipped. So I look like I'm going to my right side, but trust me, I'm going to my left. You're going to look back, and you might feel a little stretch in the neck here. You only want to turn the head as far as it feels good to do so. You want to maintain a really long, tall spine. And then you're going to look back over your right shoulder and you're going to get a little stretch the other way. So the body, the thoracic spine still rotating over to that left side, but the head's now looking back to the right. And then eyes back to the front. And simply take that over to the other side. So the left hand comes across, the right hand comes behind. You know, sit up nice and tall, take an inhale. And on the exhale, look back over the right shoulder. Relaxing that right shoulder down. Don't let the traps creep up. Along through the neck. And then maintain the position with the body. Just turn the head back. Look over the left shoulder. And feel that stretch down the right side of the neck. Breath stays slow and steady. And then eyes come back to the front. Body comes back to the front. Let's inhale, lift up. Press the palms, and on the exhale, drop your left hand down and take a little reach over towards that left side. Now, if that's tough, you can always take one of your books under the hand, bring the floor a little closer. I'm going to reach all the way over with the fingers so the fingers stay active. I'm going to see if you can roll that top shoulder, that right shoulder open a little more so you can look up and under the armpit. And then take the eyes, look down towards the floor, lengthen out the back of the neck. And on the next inhale, lift up, press the palms and take it over to the other side. Exhale, right side, nice and long. So we're really pressing our sit bones down, reaching with the fingers. It's a nice active stretch. A little bend into that right elbow to bring you closer to the floor if you can. And then roll the shoulder back, tilt the chest and look up under that armpit, up towards the sky. And of course, if that doesn't feel good on your neck, you're going to find somewhere else to place your head where the neck isn't under any stress. And slowly look down to the floor, lengthen out the back of the neck. And then take an inhale to come up, press the palms, and exhale, bring the prayer to the heart. So we're going to take our hands, bring the palms together but cross at the wrists. You're going to reach the arms forward and around the spine and look towards your belly button. So what we're wanting here is a stretch all across the back of the shoulder blades. So it's a little rounding of the spine, reaching of the fingers. And then on the inhale, you're going to spread the arms wide, lift the heart, and exhale, take the other hand underneath. So it's a different cross of the wrists. And slowly come on up. You're going to keep those arms crossed. We're going to bring the backs of the hands towards each other. And maybe even scoot the hands all the way around. So not everyone's going to be able to get that second bind. Unfortunately, a lot of yoga has got to do with how long your limbs are. So if you have short arms or really muscly biceps, it's going to be a bit tougher to get that second bind. So hands are either pressing back or palms together if you can. And then we want to lift the arms up. Wow, feel that stretch across the back of the shoulders. So we've gone from sort of regular cross to lifting those arms up. The more that we lift the arms up, the more you're going to feel it across the scapula. And then from there, maybe you can begin to take the hands forward. But once again, you want to listen to the body. If the body doesn't like it, just find a softer, easier option. You can begin to round down. Look down towards the floor, feel that length in the back of the neck. A really strong stretch here across the shoulders. Now look at which hand's on top, work out which one that is, and then inhale, take the arms wide, lift the heart, oh so good, and then exhale, take the other hand on top. So we're going to change the cross, find that backs of the hands towards each other or palms together, and then just take a moment to feel into that, to see how that feels in the body, and then might want to lift the hands up if that feels okay. And if that's all going well, begin to take the hands forward, big stretch across the upper back. Keep the breath moving. Long, slow and steady. Yeah, release that down. Inhale. And then exhale, hands to the floor. Great. So sitting up tall. Now this is where bringing the floor a bit closer might feel good, depending on how tight you are through the neck and shoulders, or how long your torso is compared to your hands. I'm going to just gently drop the head, left ear, over towards left shoulder. So you're getting a really strong stretch down the right side. I want to try and anchor that right arm down. And you might even sweep the right hand around behind, grab a hold of the wrist, and just gently draw it away. So you're really getting that stretch right side. So, just feeling into that. And release the hand, come back up, take the arms up, little stretch, and then over to the other side. So right ear towards right shoulder. And then if you did so on the other side, sweep the Left hand around, grab a hold with the right wrist, and gently draw that hand down towards your right, the back of the right hip. And get that big stretch down the neck. We have a generational issue of this neck forward position and too much time on our devices. And as life gets busier and we spend more and more time in front of the screen, and then in our downtime we reach for the iPad or the phone. So we seem to spend most of our day with our head forward. It's a lot of pressure on the neck. Alright, release it up. Just roll the shoulders, circle the shoulders around. Great. Then do one more in that direction. And take the left ear to the left shoulder. Now sweep the left hand up and just place the hand onto your ear. So we're just adding a little bit of weight. So we're not pulling the head down. I'm going to keep this right arm reaching out so that you're really maintaining as much space as you can. And then lift that left hand up, look down towards your left hip and place the hand on the back of the head and just gently draw it down. Lovely. And then release it down, turn the head back to the front, come back to center, take it over to the other side. Click. Right ear, right shoulder. And then you might lift up the right hand. Just place it onto the ear. Just a little gentle pressure. Keep that left hand reaching. And take the pressure off. Turn the chin down towards the armpit and place the hand on the back of the head. Lift the hand, look back to the front. Then we're going to interlace the fingers. Take the hands to the back of the head, the occipital bone, the little round part of the back of the skull. Just take the hands around there. You can even take your thumbs to face down and use those thumbs. My bun's in the wrong spot. The thumbs can just gently massage into the neck. And then we want to pull our chin in like you're trying to make double chin, funny face. And just release the muscles, the extensors of the neck. Pressing the head into the hands. And at the same time, the elbows are beginning to press forward. So there's real two-way action. Head into the hands, hand into the head, and they're both resisting each other. Yeah. Great. And then release it, pressure off, and take the hands down and give the shoulders a little roll. Great. So we're going to come up to stand, get a little bit dynamic in our stretch before we come back to the floor. So grab a hold of your strap. If you don't have anything handy, you don't really need it. You can do it without. It's just such a nice, this next little one's such a nice stretch. So if you've got something that's got a bit of give in it, you probably don't have to worry quite so much about how far you take your hands. This has no give really. So I'm going to start with my hands quite wide. My goal is to lift the arms up and then to take them back behind me without bending the elbow or threading myself through. So I'm going to take it a bit wider. So really wide, and we're opening up through the shoulders, through the front of the chest. We inhale to come up, exhale to take it down, and inhale to come up. And exhale to take it down. You might find once you've done a couple of them, the shoulders warm up a little, that you might be able to walk the hands in a little closer. So you can do that just a little bit closer. And then inhale to lift it up. And exhale, strong to take it back. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale up. And whenever I do this, I think, why don't I do this more often? Because I obviously really need it. Inhale, lift it up. Oh, exhale, over. Great. Walk the hands a bit closer so they're about as wide as your hips. Lift up and take a little lean over to your left side, really pressing the left heel down. Nice. And then inhale, come up. And then exhale, take it over to the other side. So a little bit of side waist stretch. But whenever we do lateral flexion like this, inhale up, exhale over, my neck always feels better afterwards. Inhale, lift up, and exhale over. Awesome. One more time, each way in and out. And in and out. Lovely. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, take it down. Now, some of you might like to use your strap for the next little stretch. We're going to take our feet about as wide as a yoga mat. And we're going to keep our right foot pointing forward, and we're going to turn our left foot out. And then the back foot, we're going to lift up the toes and just slightly pivot them towards the left side. So that foot isn't all the way turned to the front, it's kind of on a bit of an angle here. We're going to sweep our hands around behind, and this is where some of you might like to hold, maybe I'll try it this way, to hold on to the strap. We're going to inhale, lift the heart up, and on the exhale, come down over that left leg and take the arms overhead. So we're going to come down the inside of the left thigh and take the arms up and overhead. Now, if your shoulders are feeling open, you don't want to use the strap, then you're going to interlace your fingers, press the palms together, shoulders are back, chest is forward, inhale, lift up, and exhale, take it over. So as if you're trying to put your hands on the floor all the way overhead. And this one's Prasarita Padottanasana, or pyramid pose. And keep reaching those arms over. Don't worry if the palms of the hands come apart, but if you can press the palms of the hands together, even stronger. And then slowly press through the feet to come up. Inhale. Exhale, release. Turn both feet forward. I'm going to take my feet a little wider here. I'm going to sweep the hands around behind you. And the options are to take the fists together or to hold onto your strap. You might also be able to reach all the way across to the creases of the elbows. And some of you might even be able to take the hands into a reverse prayer. So palms of the hands together. But that's going to depend on, wrists, shoulders, lots of different things. So choose one of those options. Fists together all the way to grab the opposite elbow, or that reverse prayer, or reverse namaste, as some people call it, and come to the front. So toes are pointing forward, if not slightly pigeon-toed, and that's on both feet. Inhale, lift the heart, really draw those shoulders back. Try and squeeze the shoulders together for that, the rhomboids engage here, and then slowly fold it down. Little micro bend in the knees. We don't want to lock out the knees. Once you get down there, just slowly head side to side. Just release the neck. Breathe into it, see if you can come a little deeper. Three more breaths. And to come up, press into the pinky toe sides of the feet. So if you're trying to tear the mat between the feet, they're both pressing out in opposite directions. And then slowly roll up. Once again, little micro bend in the knees is great. Then you're going to turn your right foot, pick up the left toes and slightly pivot them. And we're going to take our hands down and once again grab a hold of the strap or interlace the fingers. Do whatever you did on the other side, and inhale, lift the heart. And then on the exhale, come down on the inside of that right leg and take the arms up and overhead. Now, if you feel like you're losing your balance, you can lift up a little, look towards the right big toe. If the balance is okay, fold all the way down and look back to the left ankle. A little micro bend in that right knee. Maybe the arms can find a little more space. And then prepare to come on up, press into the feet, inhale, roll up, and then exhale, release it. Great. Okay. You can release your strap for the moment. You're going to come down to lie on the floor. Come down onto, doesn't matter actually, whichever side, because we'll do both and we'll do them straight away. So you're going to come all the way down. Now, if you've got a sore neck, you might like to take your towel and just make it into a little sausage so that the neck is supported. You're going to bend up the knees, take the hands together, palms together, and just reach them out in front. So if you don't need the blanket, head on the floor is fine too, but I've got mine now, so I'm going to use it. So hands are together, feet are together, knees are together. You're going to take an inhale and lift the top hand up. You're going to roll all the way back behind you as far as it goes. If it taps the floor, great. If it doesn't, great. It doesn't matter. Then take an inhale and exhale to bring it back. We're going to do that again. We'll do it a little faster. So we're going to inhale up and over, reach back. Keep the knees together for that twist in the spine. Exhale, we'll bring it back. So that's 2. We're going to do 5 of these. In. And out. And that's 3. In. And out. It's 4. Last one. In. And out. That's 5. So this one's actually borrowed from Pilates. You're going to pretend you've got a piece of chalk in your top hand. And imagining you're going to keep that piece of chalk connected to the floor. You're going to start by taking the arm up and overhead. So like you're drawing a chalk circle around your body. Oh, I've got too many obstacles here. All the way around. So keeping on the floor for as long as you can will get to your hips. You'll come up and over and then back to the starting place. And we're going to do 2 more like that, keeping the fingers on the floor for as long as you can, really opening up that top shoulder. I love that it gives a nice little stretch into the pec, muscles of the chest as well. Last time in this direction. And take it all the way around. Back to our starting spot. And then we're going to go the other way. So we're going to sweep it back down towards the legs, up and over the hip. All the way back behind you. And then take it up and overhead. Great. And keep it going 2 more times in this direction. Lovely, and last one. And then come back to how we started with the palms resting together. We're simply just going to do 1 open expanse, reach back, and then bring the hands back together. It's a nice way to measure the progress and how much it opens up. Great. So bending, palms together, and use that to lift you up. We're going to swing it over to the other side. So all the way down to lie on your side. Knees are bent up, feet together, knees together, palms together. Too many props in my way. Palms together. And then inhale and reach the arm up. Follow the fingers with the eyes all the way back. And then exhale. Bring those hands back together. And then inhale, open up. All the way back, 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 back. And exhale. And in. And out. We've got two more like that. In. Reach, reach, reach. And out. And then last one. In. And out. So you've grabbed your imaginary chalk. You're going to keep that chalk in contact with the ground for as long as and as often as you can, for as much of the circle as possible. You reach the arm back and around. And then up and over the hips. And then around. And then all the way back. And last time in this direction. And then let's reverse it other way for 3 chalk circles. Great rotation for the shoulder. Nice little play with mobility. I think it was Patabi Joyce who said that you're only as old as your spine is flexible. Patabi Joyce was a famous yogi. And so we want to keep all those aspects, everything moving and well lubricated. Lovely. Come back to where we started, palms together. Inhale, reach that arm back and just notice the difference. If you get a little further, much easier for me. Exhale. Bring the hands back. Great. And then press the palms together, lift up. Now you're going to find your block, book, blanket. What we want, we're going to put a little something on the upper back. So we're going to put it between our shoulder blades. So we need something that we have got a little bit of solidity about it. So if you've got a really great beach towel that's nice and big enough, I guess, to create some bulk, then you can take that and you can roll it and put it long ways on your mat. Otherwise, you can use a book or a block and put that between your shoulder blades, and you can even do a little combination of both. So a smaller towel over the top of your block is good. Now, with the beach towel or whatever cushion you're using, you're going to lie down. You're just going to let the head hang back and open up the shoulders, palms face up. Yeah, this is good. It's really good. It's going to be a little bit more intense with a block or a book, but that's good. So it can either be up or it can be a little flatter, depending on what you're using and how you're feeling. But in between the shoulder blades, now I might need a little something behind my head, I think, when I get back. But we can drop the head all the way back, or we can put a little cushioning underneath it. So we're going to open up front of the chest, shoulders, and more importantly, the front of the throat. So if you think about that head forward position, we're constantly closing this off. We're constantly folding over and compressing the front of our throat. And now in yoga, this is our Vishuddha chakra, our throat chakra. And so obviously we don't want to close that off. We want to keep that open and bright. We want to be able to speak our truth. We want to be able to talk our talk. And if we close that off, then begin to hold back what we have to say. We hold back our contribution to the world. And so we want to make sure that that Vishuddha is an open channel. And so you can picture, just lying back, close the eyes. I want you to picture a little blue circle at the throat. And think about those Gold Coast skies that we have at the moment, the really beautiful blue. Just imagine that swirling the front of the throat, open and clear. And just breathing into that area. And so this is also about how we stand up for ourselves. We've all had those situations in arguments with partners, with parents, with friends, where it's been necessary to swallow our words just for the sake of harmony, or to stop yourself saying something nasty that you might regret saying later on. So we've all had that experience of that swallowing of our words, that holding back. And so if anything bubbles to the surface, that sometimes happens when we open up these areas. If anything's bubbling to the surface and you're thinking about any situation in particular, and just taking a big breath in, and the exhale, just clearing it out, releasing it, letting it go. When we hold on to things, and just letting all of that go, releasing it. Offering yourself a bit of space and a little peace. And you're going to just slowly roll off to one side. So just roll yourself off the blocks or the blanket, just onto one side. And then slowly press yourself up, come to sit in easy cross legs. Keep your eyes closed down if you can. I'm going to take the hands into prayer and bring the prayer to the third eye center. And saying quietly in your mind, hopes and dreams. Now bringing the thumbs to the lips. And pressing the thumbs to the lips and saying quietly in your mind, truth and kindness. And now taking those thumbs to the heart. And here we say love and compassion. And we bow forward and we say to each other, Namaste. Thank you for joining me, lovely people.